every single summer, their signings make no sense, and left wondering why these teams make these moves. So I grabbed 3 signings I think make no sense at all, and will make no sense from 2-3 years from now. First, Luís Pena to Juventus. I was very surprised when I saw Luís Pena to come to Juventus. I think it's a transfer that we really see a lot of things going through. And also, then on day, a lot of these things happen, a lot of these moves happen really quickly, and we don't see a lot of links around those. But still, I don't think it makes sense because Juventus already has 3 pretty good strikers on their squad. At least 3 strikers who already are there. They can play some pretty good football. You do have Jonathan David, we brought in this summer on a free from Lille. Obviously, Sekati can play more of a winger. Obviously, I think you get the most out of him in a striker. You also have Dusan Vlahovic, as I said. It's a guy obviously kind of more on the shopping block throughout most of the summer, but throughout to like 1-2 weeks, I think Juventus really want him to be into the squad. So it's not like a situation where bringing up Piana in case Vlahovic leaves or maybe leaves next winter. I don't think anything like that because now Juventus are really fully brought in on Vlahovic, even starting for them. There's like Milik, who's also in injury, but I still think is a good striker to be at your third option. And I think, again, he has an injury. I don't think that's enough for you to bring in Luís Pena. Okay, I think it's a lot, but I think that's a reason to buy from next year, which should be pretty expensive. Obviously, I mean, I'm not saying Pena is a bad player, a bad striker. He's an amazing player. For Juventus, already have front of David, Vlahovic, and now Luís Pena alongside Milik. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense when the money they're not going to be spending on Luís Pena can definitely be spent on midfielders who they chose throughout the whole summer. They wanted Usman, they wanted more midfielders, maybe it's a new defender in central back, because they don't have a lot of good center backs in their squad, and they didn't want to partner upside Gatti and Bremer, and did not go after that. So I think going like with a third striker option, a fourth striker option, makes zero sense in terms of maybe trying to go for a new midfielder or a new center back. They'll probably help the team grow a bit more, because I don't see a world where you may see maybe Jonathan David play alongside Vlahovic, because we see Can Ilić is a guaranteed starter week in, week out. When Sound and Segrova are 2 guys who are going to play on the right wing every single game, rotating. So I don't see a world where maybe you can see Jonathan David start every single game as number 10 as a winger. I don't see that. And also maybe see that maybe that Igor Tudor wants to play a 2-man up front. I don't think that makes any sense. With this European and Jonathan David shares some minutes on the pitch last game against Inter, that was because they were losing 3-2 to Inter and Tudor wanted to go more offensive and sought a different approach to go from strikers up front. I don't think we're going to see that approach a lot of times throughout this season, or is it enough to give the minutes that both David or Vlahovic or Openda both deserve. So I think this signing is a bit of a mess. I think more of a panic signing, or then maybe see like, okay, this is the market, I feel like it's way too good to miss out. I feel like it's going to be what it's going to be for next signing as well. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think Juventus are going to come to regret this sometime throughout the next year or so. I don't think it will impact them as much like winning games or whatever. I think that's all squad building. I don't think that's someone's choice. And if we see alongside the months, we see maybe a big injury happen like midfield or defense, just much playing for it. It might be because they brought Pena instead of a new defender or midfielder. Second, Donnarumma to Man City. I think it's a bit weird because of Donnarumma has made himself to be the best goalkeepers in the world. We saw that PSG last year, how good he was, winning Champions League and League One or etc., winning the treble. And it feels very weird for some people that Luis Enrique now this summer want to put Donnarumma out from the squad and brought in Lucas Vallejo from Lille. Now obviously we saw a lot of this happen with goalkeepers. We thought these kind of traditional goalkeepers who are very saving the ball, guarding having with their feet, kind of get close to that squad. Like we saw David De Gea and Man United. When the night brought in, he was immediately off the squad because he's not very good with the feet, and a lot of managers now want players who are very good with their feet. We saw Man City and Guardiola, especially like Manuel Neuer at Bayern and Man City. So Guardiola brings that trend, I'll say, to modern football. And for now to see Pep Guardiola, the one who kind of introduced, I would say, maybe some of like sweeping goalkeepers or whopping goalkeepers to the world of football, now betting on a goalkeeper who was famously very bad at having the ball on his feet, who PSG suffered a loss from teams wanting to press on Donnarumma with the ball, and having him being brought in Pep Guardiola's team feels very weird and confusing. I still don't know why Pep Guardiola thought it was a good signing to make, considering his philosophy and the way he wants his team to play with the ball at his feet, and I like the whole tiki-taka about football. It still feels very weird to me that Guardiola is the one who makes this signing, especially because that's brought in James Trafford from Burnley this summer. Obviously, a guy who's young and has had a rough start of the season when Ederson left and Donnarumma was still yet to be brought in. And we saw some bad games from Trafford. I think like the first one was pretty bad from Trafford. but still a young guy and can develop a lot. Maybe like did you really fully buy onto being a backup goalkeeper when he first brought to Man City on this summer? I don't think so. I don't think he planned on being backup to Donnarumma for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe at least I'll say. So I think in terms of like also just brought in Sam Stratford this summer, why that brought in a goalkeeper just add another level of not being the making a lot of sense for Man City. And again, that will play out confusion with Donnarumma not being able to play the ball at his feet. Now obviously I mean instead of against United he played pretty well, obviously and terms of shot stopping, even though he made some mistakes here and there, he is a pretty good overall shot stopper. He did play pretty well. It's not just a team that wasn't really dangerous offensively, and also pressing without the ball. They weren't really pressing Donnarumma or any defenders a lot. So we haven't seen Donnarumma really being put the test of having the ball at his feet and teams being pressing against him. Maybe like when if they play against some big teams, Champions League, and we'll see now this week some of those balls in Donnarumma kind of come apart more than we usually tend to. And I mean, I'm interested to see how this experiment will go with Donnarumma and Man City. If Guardiola sees the errors of Donnarumma, if he's able to bring out another version of Donnarumma, then maybe it's a bit more confident. I'm not expecting Donnarumma to now turn into like a great ball-playing keeper under Guardiola, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a more at least comfortable, more confident version of Donnarumma with the ball, and maybe see him develop on that side of the ball a little bit more. So we'll see how that go. Maybe the next month or two, we're going to see a more concrete answer, a more concrete view of what Donnarumma's future Man City will go, and maybe just maybe we can maybe see a similar outcome to what his PSG career might also end up with how his City career gonna end up with. So we have to kind of wait and see how these things happens. The third one, we might understand to Nottingham Forest. Now this is still a very good transfer. Because Nottingham Forest this summer was a whole debacle, a whole roller coaster of emotions. We saw a lot of confusion when Espírito Santo and Tugas Parts winning the record, I think, and Marinakis, and we see Espírito Santo being fired, and Angel brought in, I think it's a terrible move by the way, whatever. And we saw Espírito Santo start like maybe August, speak about Nottingham Forest, doing a lot of signings we brought in, and that was true. And then in like 1 or 2 weeks, we saw Nottingham Forest bring in a lot of new players. From Botafogo as well, from Brazil, and from other teams as well. Mark Hudson was at the time, and I think still is, the club's record signing, the player who Nottingham Forest spent the most in their whole history. And I think to see, I mean, first two Premier League games is being able to play. He got benched for one of the games, and I think he played 9 minutes in the 2 games he's played. And for someone who will come this summer as a player who the team will spend the most money ever to bring him in. To see him play just 9 minutes in the first 3 games is very bad for him to see, and I don't think that's a signing that Nuno Espírito Santo can agree with, because we saw Nuno Espírito Santo being a manager who played that kind of 5-3 or whatever we want to talk about, and taught up players that he paid a lot of players were quick in transitions and whatever. And Marcus White already ended the I'll say role of main creator of that team. And I think wingers are very fast. And Mark Hudson, I really think he fits very well with that team. And a lot of times that maybe Marinakis brought in for Nottingham Forest this summer didn't really fit in with Nuno's philosophy. And seeing how Ange came in the first game of the season against Arsenal, playing 4-2-1, I don't really see how Mark Hudson makes a team in that formation. We saw that double pivot with Alex Anderson and Sangaré. I don't think we'll be able to see Marty play in either of those positions. With Marcus White being placed number 10, I don't think we see a world where Marty can take off that place from Marcus White, especially all the drama that went this summer. Then during the positions, we still see wingers who are more like wingers in the traditional sense and faster wingers. Like Mark Hudson's kind of, I'll say maybe strength right now is maybe versatility. I don't know much about Mari and Ibishana as well. I don't see a lot of games. From what I read and what I've seen a little bit on YouTube, I don't think Mark Hudson is really that good of a player to demand that much of a fee. I mean, it's versatile and it's young, but I don't think that two qualities make sense to spend that much money on a player to not get from Ibishana. It's a good player, but I think he's a good enough player to be starting Nottingham Forest or to be demanding that much fee. I think it was very much a panic buy from Marinakis, maybe like trying to calm down the situation with Espírito Santo and Gaspar or whatever, or maybe it's kind of a sense of rebellion from Gaspar to go against Espírito Santo. I don't know, maybe some shady things happen backdoors from this move, but I don't think it makes sense at all. I don't think we have much protagonism this summer. I think we'll probably see a year from now, maybe like even half a year from now, we'll probably look at this transfer and see how much money was brought in for. I think we'll probably think this was maybe the biggest flop in the Premier League summer this year. Maybe it's not. I can bet on him being that big of a flop, and also some news came. I think what a week ago or something like that. Counts. Omar Hudson, like the Ghost record signing, was not included in their squad for Europe. I think they got Europa League, I'm pretty sure, because Crystal Palace or whatever. I think they played Europa League, and they submitted to tell list of 72 players. And Omar Hudson was not on the list. Like a player like Luis, who came here from loan, like José Jesus, who came from Botafogo. I mean, Omar. I saw some players also was there. I kind of felt a bit dubious being behind Omar Hudson. But use that out. You cannot play in Europe for Nottingham Forest. And for the club record signing, again, if you spend like more than £40 million, your club's record signing right away, for him to play 9 minutes in the first 3 Premier League games, and for him to not even be included into the Europa League squad. So you only have him for Premier League and Cup games. You only have him for Europe, where maybe because like Chelsea, when she saw like Chelsea in the Conference League, they didn't also register Cole Palmer or Su in that competition for the league phase because they knew that the players, the teams going to play were not very good. Maybe like Nottingham Forest, maybe kind of bet or Hudson to kind of get some more game time in Europe, in the Europa League. Or even that, we're going to see Omar Hudson play in that competition. So I think it's going to be a very big of a mess. Again, I'm very surprised to see Nottingham Forest to play this year. I think it should be a major bad year for Nottingham Forest. I don't trust Ange to get his team to the outcome they had 90% last year. I very much can sense that fall off season for Nottingham Forest. There will be the question out on Europe, a question out the Premier League. We'll probably see Nottingham Forest be bottom table this year. I'm that less confident on him. I'm that dubious about this team and Ange and Marinakis. I mean, everything about Declan right now seems very shady, and I think that this Omar Hudson signing will come down as the biggest flop this year.